and thank you for adjusting your schedule to be from the Capitol to the State Historical Building. Usually we're at the Capitol, but thank you for coming out, especially on a frigid day. I had somebody come to me and say, Bob, we had a lot more ready to come, but the cold kind of kept them home. They wanted to stay where it's warm, so at least we know who's really here who wants to make a difference. So thank you for showing up. I'm going to be brief because there are a lot of speakers here today, and a lot of them want to talk to you about a lot of issues. The Family Leaders' mission is simply to strengthen families. And whatever that means, we just want to strengthen families, whether that's economically, whether that's internationally with our relationship with Israel, whether that's with the sanctity of human life, or God's design for the family with marriage, or whether that's with religious liberty. But that's kind of our crosshairs, and that's where we focus. We're thrilled to partner with a lot of different organizations, but one that we partner with a lot is Alliance Defending Freedom. And you'll be blessed to hear from Joel Olster, one of their lead attorneys of Alliance Defending Freedom, especially on the religious liberty issue. But we consider ADF to be kind of the creme de la creme, the cream of the crop, when it comes to religious liberty issues. And I think you would agree with me, is religious liberty is under threat today. And we need people to stand in the gap and protect our religious liberty. With that, let me just make a quick comment. Some of you walked in and you saw the CNN deal all set up, and I thought, wow, this is going to be a rally. Now the CNN's here. Might not be the right network for our organization to be here, but they're here. Well, what they're here for is that they're going to be part of the State of the Union and the focus group tonight and those type of things. I won't be able to watch the State of the Union tonight because I have to go to a basketball game, okay, that our youngest son is playing. But I believe what you're going to see tonight with the State of the Union is this. You're going to see a leader who's clearly in way over his head. You're going to see a Congress, U.S. senators and U.S. congressmen and women who have about a 9% approval rate. And then up front, you're going to see rogue justices who have taken way more authority than our Constitution has ever permitted them to take. And a lot of them are saying, it probably doesn't even matter what law that or what vision we cast or what law we pass, it's all going to go through the courts anyhow. And then the courts are going to tell us the way it's going to be. And we see that in Utah, we see that in California, we see that in North Dakota, we saw it right here in the state of Iowa. No matter what the people say, what the people's voice is, whether it be through representative government or through constitutional votes, you got a court or you got a judge who says, I can just flip this thing on its proverbial head. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's given our liberty away. That's why we need organizations like Alliance Defending Freedom and the Family Leader and good state elected office holders and federal elected office holders who understand what their constitutional roles are and that they stick to those. And I happen to believe the reason you will see a leader that's in over his head, why you will see a Congress with a 9% approval rate, and why you see rogue justices taking authority that isn't theirs to take, is because they have forgotten, many of them have forgotten, who is the lawgiver? That God institution government. He has three institutions. He doesn't have two. He has the church. He has the family. He has the government. Where those three intersect, that is the focus of the family leader. That's where we focus our attention. We focus our crosshairs. But God instituted government. And that's why we have the founders who reference in the Declaration of Independence the law of nature and the law of nature's God. Because they knew when you start walking away from the law of nature and the law of nature's God, and you start implementing your own laws about what's best for Bob, what's best for Greg, what's best for Tamara, what's best for Nancy, you will have a train wreck. There has to be a higher standard. And that's the standard that we try to achieve here at the Family Leader. We try to promote at the Family Leader. The purpose of government, to promote righteousness. And government inside of a culture reflects the soul of a culture. And as I was out for a walk with a pastor the other day, and the pastor said to me, he said, Bob, is it me, or is this world, is this culture just becoming a darker place? And I think for a lot of us, we might agree, this is just becoming a darker place. Well, if it's becoming a darker place, then we need to let our light shine brighter into that darker place. And that's why we're so thankful that you would come here today to let your voice be heard on religious liberty, on the sanctity of human life, on God's design for the family and marriage, and anything else that benefits the family. Because all you have to do is take a look at God's principles and precepts. They are for our good and our benefit, not for our harm and for our destruction. You apply his principles and precepts to economics, and your economic house is in order. You apply his principles and precepts to marriage and the family, and marriage and family is in order. You apply his principles and precepts to foreign policy, and foreign policy is in order. Right. So when you're looking for the solutions, where should we look? We should look up, not off to the sides, and definitely not to the pole of the day. That's why we do what we do, and we're thankful to shoulder with you, because we believe if all of us do our part, we can make a difference, not only for this generation, but for generation after generation, and that should be our focus, and that is our call. So thank you for being here, and thank you for all the speakers who are going to be presenting you the issues. It's a real privilege to have you as part of our team. Thank you.